Hello students, this is your instructor Abid Jan, and this lecture is about conceptual models of protein structures. Structural types and conceptual models. It is useful to distinguish three different protein structure types: fibrous and globular proteins, fibrous and globular proteins tend to exist in an aqueous environment, aqueous solvents, like the cytosol or extracellular fluids. Integral membrane proteins exist within the lipid dominated environment of biological membranes or transmembrane domains. Globular proteins. In globular proteins, the linear amino acid polymer form a three-dimensional structure by folding into a globular shape. Globular protein tends to be soluble in aqueous solvents, and their folding is dominated by the hydrophobic effect, which directs hydrophobic amino acid side chains to the structural core of the protein away from the solvent. Suppose this is the globular, so inside the core there will be hydrophobic amino acid face to face, and this surface, which is in direct contact with the solvents, here will be the polar or hydrophilic amino acids. Proteins within this broad class include enzymes, antibodies, and molecules associated with signaling and transport inside the cell. Overall, they tend to have globular shapes. Structure formation in a globular protein is dominated by the hydrophobic effect. Some of the amino acid side chain are hydrophobic, while other amino acids are hydrophilic. When a protein folds, suppose this protein is in folded shape, it is able to minimize its free energy by placing hydrophilic amino acids on the surface. This is the surface of the globule in contact with aqueous solvent, and hydrophobic amino acid in the central core of the globule away from the solvent. This effect is the strongest force driving the linear polymer of amino acid residues to fold into a globular shape in water. So this shape is because of this folding that the hydrophobic amino acid in the central core of the globule away from the solvent, and the hydrophilic amino acids are at the outer surface in contact with the aqueous solvents. And this hydrophobic effect drive the protein to adopt such a globular shape. Integral membrane proteins. These exist within biological lipid membranes and obey different structural principles compared with globular proteins. They contain runs of hydrophobic amino acid. Suppose this is this coil. This is the run of a hydrophobic amino acids associated with membrane spanning segments. These are hydrophobic membrane spanning segments connected by more hydrophilic loops. So this is the loop. Two turns of hydrophobic amino acids are membrane spanning segments. This is one membrane spanning segment, this is other. They are connected through a hydrophilic loop. That lie in the aqueous environment. So this loop is lying outside the membrane in the aqueous environment, and these two transmembrane domains are membrane spanning segments whose composition is of hydrophobic amino acid. They are spanning the membrane, and this is the loop connecting the two transmembrane domains, and this is composed of actually hydrophilic amino acids. Integral membrane proteins are key elements of biological signaling and transmembrane transport system. Significant part of these proteins exist in the lipid environment of biological membranes. Integral membrane proteins have segments that actually cross the membrane. You can see amino acid in these segments tend to be of hydrophobic nature, compatible with the lipid structure of the membrane. The number of membrane spanning sections within the membrane proteins vary from 1 to more than 10. Suppose here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 apparently from the front view, although in the back view there are some other transmembrane domains, but the number of these transmembrane domain, it vary from 1 to more than 10. So this number is variable from protein to protein depending on the function of the protein. This is the bibliography about the lecture. Keep calm, stay curious, Allah Hafiz, and good luck for your exams.